AECSP Achievements, 11 years of partnership under AANZFTA. The agreement establishing the ASEAN Australia-New Zealand Free Trade Area or AANZFTA, was the first region-to-region, most comprehensive, and highest quality free trade agreement for ASEAN, Australia, and New Zealand. The AANZFTA is a large community with approximately 692 million people, a combined gross domestic product of $4.56 trillion and $63.8 billion in merchandise trade. Uniquely integrated at the heart of the AANZFTA agreement is the AANZFTA Economic Cooperation Support Program or the AECSP, established in 2010 to implement the Economic Cooperation chapter of the agreement. Funded by the governments of Australia and New Zealand, the AECSP is managed in partnership with ASEAN through the ASEAN Secretariat. The AECSP's strategic objectives are to support AANZFTA parties to operationalize and implement AANZFTA, progress the built-in agenda of the agreement, advance economic integration amongst parties, and promote opportunities for business utilization. As of the 31st of July 2021, the total contributions from the governments of Australia and New Zealand to the AECSP amounted to $36.4 million Australian dollars. ASEAN, through the ASEAN Secretariat, continues to provide contribution in kind, from technical to administrative and logistical, to the AECSP. The AECSP comprises of two pillars. The Economic Cooperation Work Program, ECWP, consists of annual programs across 12 components. The AANZFTA Support Unit assists the parties in implementing the ECWP through 4 key results areas. Through good governance processes and close partnership amongst all the 12 parties, the AECSP has supported 94 projects to date, enabling a rich diversity of high-quality, demand-driven economic research, policy advice, and tailored capacity building to deliver on its 4 strategic objectives, and benefiting over 12,000 government officials and businesses from across the region. In particular, the AECSP has addressed the AANZFTA implementation gaps amongst parties, with priorities on and the most benefits for the less developed members. The AECSP has enhanced sustainable understanding and capacity of government officials and businesses for important disciplines of trade in goods. When fully implemented, these schemes facilitate and increase trade, reduce transaction costs, and enable more business opportunities across the AANZFTA. With AECSP support, all parties had successfully implemented the first protocol to amend the AANZFTA agreement. Further, all parties had completed transposing AANZFTA tariff reduction schedules and product-specific rules into the latest 2017 harmonized system, adopted by the World Customs Organization. A comprehensive review was conducted to examine the impacts and implications of non-tariff measures along the supply chain throughout the AANZFTA, setting an essential step toward introducing more cohesive interventions to facilitate trade in goods in the region. The AECSP has also supported parties in developing a regional mechanism to capture, report, and monitor the utilization of AANZFTA preferences. An array of targeted technical assistance from the AECSP has contributed to streamlining and improving quarantine systems and procedures, harmonizing international standards and regulations, and strengthening regional cooperation. The flagship project, Multi-Phase ASEAN Regional Diagnostic Network, ARDN, has equipped competent authorities with enhanced capacity to identify plant pests and diseases. The project has also facilitated access to key markets for some agricultural products while enabling interagency and cross-border collaboration to narrow the capacity gap amongst AMS. An ASEAN regional guideline on SPS was developed to implement the World Trade Organization Agreement on the application of SPS measures, and international food safety, plant and animal health standards while facilitating trade. The AECSP has enhanced AMS institutional capacity to implement international regulatory standards on dairy products, and conduct import risk analysis for the importation of animal and animal products based on the World Organization for Animal Health (OIE) risk analysis framework. The AECSP continues supporting the multi-year STRACAP Work Plan Implementation Program (SWIP) in the agreed sectors, such as food and beverage and cosmetics. Moreover, the AECSP assists micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, and MSME enablers to augment their practical knowledge and technical expertise in the international standards of prepared food. Trade in services has become the most dynamic segment of international trade. The AECSP has supported developing the ASEAN Qualifications Reference Framework, AQRF, to drive substantial reforms within the AMS, education and training systems. The robustness of the referencing process boosts the level of transparency and trust in ASEAN qualifications within the international community, thereby promoting greater mobility of students and workers within the ASEAN region. A policy and institutional framework and strategic action plan on transport and logistics services were developed to contribute to building a closer ASEAN community. The AECSP endeavors to facilitate the investment flow across the AANZFTA region by assisting parties to address impediments to expanding investment. A series of investment policy reviews for 6 AMS provides comprehensive analyses of each country's investment environment and supports policy formulation and adjustment to better investment climates. Invaluable assistance in various areas of mutual interest among AANZFTA parties has stimulated the development of sound and balanced intellectual property (IP) systems to reduce impediments to trade and investment and deepen economic integration. From 2011 to 2017, the AECSP had assisted AMS in preparing for the accession to and implementing the Madrid Protocol for the International Protection of Trademarks. Further, the AECSP has sought to enhance AMS' understanding of and capacity to design and implement quality management practices within their respective trademark offices. 3 intertwined projects have enhanced AMS' institutional capacity to design and adopt a consistent and sustainable approach to patent examination and training tailored to the need of AMS. Further, the AECSP has improved the parties' awareness and understanding of the approaches and related policy issues in protecting and promoting IP-related aspects on genetic resources, traditional knowledge, and traditional cultural expressions, GRTKTCE. Since 2014, the flagship Competition Law Implementation Program, CLIP, has assisted AMS to develop, improve, and implement effective and progressive competition policies. While fostering interagency cooperation, CLIP has set the stage for the new AANZFTA Consumer Affairs Program, CAP. Found in 2020, CAP seeks to enhance the AMS's capacity to develop and implement consumer protection laws, empower consumers, and drive merits-based competition between traders. The AECSP has contributed to boosting business confidence in regional economic opportunities for trade and investment. A rich diversity of knowledge products and resources to help businesses, especially MSMEs, reap the benefits offered by the AANZFTA. All relevant information is publicly available on the AANZFTA website. Since 2019, the AECSP has set in motion targeted initiatives to support the AANZFTA upgrade negotiation, to ensure the AANZFTA remains modern and relevant to the changing business environment and ever-evolving regional trade and economic landscape. In the wake of the COVID-19 global pandemic, the AECSP has reframed its economic cooperation activities and delivery means to adapt to the current constraints. With the end of AECSP approaching, the AANZFTA parties are working together to introduce a new economic cooperation program to continue advancing comprehensive economic partnership and integration among ASEAN, Australia, and New Zealand for years to come.